Hello, everyone. This is Crystal Lee with We-are-magick, and here is another ridiculous episode. I hope you all have been okay. Sorry it's taken so long. I'm just realizing my path is kind of shifting, and I'm just flowing with it, guys. So I'm glad you're with me. So I've been noticing a lot in the collective about people wanting to open their third eye, people wanting ascensions, people wanting transcendence, people saying they've reached enlightenment, people who just are ready to dip out of here and hang out with the galactics, right? But with that being said, you are on Earth and we have stuff to do here. And I think a lot of us don't realize that we're more than what is at face value, right? We are powerful. We are magnificent. We are intelligent. We're supportive. We're beautiful, sexy, confident. We're all these things, but society has fixed it to where if you love yourself, it's conceited. It's selfish if you do something nice for yourself. They want you to love others, but they don't really tell us how to love. A lot of us are trying to skip right past the emotional, energetic, powerful healing that is needed at the time. And they just want to get straight to being, Superman. And that's just not how this works, right? I really push shadow work. And shadow work may sound spooky, scary, but let me remind you, your shadow is not something outside of yourself, okay? So I consider our brain a supercomputer because we are literally energy. We are energetic beings having a human experience, right? Some of us are here for the fun. Some of us are here to clear our karma. Some of us is very well aware of who we are and could care less about the karma, out here living our best life. Just depends on your level of spirituality, how your belief system is, how far you've come. A lot of us for a long time, I knew I had a purpose. I just didn't know what my purpose was. I was very backwards. I was very shy due to abuse and all the stuff done to me by my father and the public education system. So when I left indoctrination and just, jumped down the rabbit hole of spirituality, I have learned, I was the same way. Like I found out who my higher self was, and I was so proud. I was like, oh my God, like I was the only one, right? But there's several avatars out here with several oversouls because we cannot limit source to one person. Source is all. We are all, okay? So, with the brain being the supercomputer, it just stores countless information, in the subconscious mind or the database, right? And that subconscious mind is what creates our reality. And especially as a child, when a baby is born, I'm going to tell you, their brains are just ready, wiped clean of all malware. Yes, I talk like a computer person because we're energy, literally, like it's crazy. And it's just ready. That hard drive is ready to be stored full of information and stuff. So, if you want to learn a new language, like teach a child a new language, get them while they're young. Start teaching them everything early because their brains just soak up so much information. And as the brain grows, it just shows that, the younger the brain is, it's easier to learn and store the information. The older you get, life happens and we start worrying more about how we're going to pay this bill, how we're going to get to work on time, how we're going to beat this deadline, right? We lose our artsy sense of self, and due to trauma and how we deal with things, it just depends on how you see life now. We always lose a sense of self in relationships because sometimes we want to be that person that they want us to be. They need to be that for themselves. You need to show up for yourself just as much as you show up for everyone else, okay? So basically, when abuse, bullying, trauma, heartbreak, disappointments, and setbacks happen to you as a small child, to survive, you will take that pain and you will push it back into your subconscious mind. Because the conscious mind doesn't want to deal with the pain. The conscious mind is aware. The conscious mind is out here. The conscious mind is dealing with the day-to-day activities while your subconscious mind stores all this information, right? So what happens is as you grow older, this trauma, the programming, all the things that, you may have gone through, it gets passed down from generation to generation to generation because it is so stored in the subconscious mind. It is a core memory. It is ingrained in the DNA. And you literally just program your future generations with the same goofy trauma. And some of us are like, oh no, I would never pass down that stuff to my future generations. But that's exactly, it stops with you. Our parents, they tried, but what their parents did to them and then what their parents did, it's a perpetuation, it's a cycle, right? So we have to get to the point where we got to stop blaming our past. We got to stop blaming our trauma. We got to stop blaming our heartbreak. We got to let go of the victim mentality. We have surpassed survivor. We have surpassed conqueror. We're still here. The past is the past. Yes, it hurt us. And coming from a person, honey, when I tell you my life, it has not been easy. I have had people tell me, loved ones tell me, if I went through what you went through, Crystal, I would have, ended it, right? So we have to get to a space where we realize life does not happen to us, it's happening for us. Now, when we were children, we were at the mercy of our parents, teachers, mentors, siblings, this depends, right? We have to accept the fact that some things in our experience are outside of our control. So to understand why the trauma happened, you have to accept the fact that you are not a victim. You survived that trauma, which makes you a warrior, okay? The key to shadow work is to realize there is no scapegoat, and that is the hardest part to accept because there is no devil, there is no Satan, there is no boogeyman to blame in spirituality. You understand? Because in true spirituality, without indoctrination, we are all one. We are a universal mind. Okay? There's nothing outside of you, nothing separate from you. All right? We're all having a human experience. Like I said, just depends on what you believe in. Every living creature on this planet is having an experience as an aspect of Source Creator. And if you went through insurmountable stress, abuse, trauma as a child, you have a purpose on this planet. And even if you haven't, if you had a pretty sweet, loving life, you have a purpose on this planet. You are the way shower for future generations, guys. Your purpose is not only to break generational curse over your life, but also for your future generations. And a lot of you already have. So to do the shadow work, what you're going to have to do is go all the way back to when you were a child and find out just go back to all the memories that you've suppressed, all the ones that, you have hidden, the ones you don't want to face. And you go all the way back to, what started the pattern that makes you accept the pain, the heartbreak, the humiliation, time and time again, right? So you go back and you look at each painful experience and you say, what did I learn from that? Instead of looking at it from a wounded victim mentality, which I've done for 40 years. I wore my trauma like the scarlet letter, like a cross of something I had to bear, right? You go back and you look at every single thing that hurts you. And you look at it as your higher self and you go, this is what I learned from that. That was a horrible experience, but look how much I've grown. Look at all the things I've overcome, all the heartbreak, all the failed relationships. A lot of this is the reason why we have to do the shadow work, guys. And you just start working on it. You look to your inner child. You hug your inner child. You meditate with your inner child. You have your inner child is your higher self. When you incarnated on this planet, when you're born here, you are fresh. You are fresh from the stars, baby. And again, like I said, society, right? Life happens. So start mirroring those who trigger you. And you're like, mirroring? What does that mean? let's say, it's a concept where you see a person's actions in yourself. Like when a person upsets you by saying something hurtful, you go within yourself and you see where you may act that way at times. Because true shadow work is accepting full accountability of all of your life, all of yourself, all of your growth, all of your hurt, all of your dark, all of your light, everything about you, everything that you're ashamed of. Face it. The purpose is to stay on the healing journey for a more abundant and happy existence. So you can have prosperity, so you can experience success, right? They fixed this program with us to where it's like we have this malware in our system that blocks us, right? So you're going to have to go into your subconscious mind and pull all that shit out, guys. Journal, like I said, meditate, cry, do all the things you have to do. Go back as far as you can and jot down every memory that traumatized you. And you look at it, and what did it teach you? And you're like, well, life isn't fair. Keep going. Okay. So as you do this, guys, more memories will resurface that you have forgotten because you blocked it so far. The brain has a way of protecting itself from uncomfortable situations. And as your memories resurface, the pain will resurface. But instead of like blocking it or ignoring it like we usually do, you experience it. You have to feel it to heal it. Look at every situation in your life and see how it made you stronger. Your experiences and how you grow from them can help others, family, okay? Be kind to your inner child. That inner child is buried under all of the repressed thoughts of your subconscious mind. Your inner child is literally taking on all the pain for you, okay? That's what you're calling your shadow, all right? We got to heal all this, the true essence of you, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, your inner being. We have got to heal it, okay? Your inner child is the real you. It's how you came on this planet. So you got to think back then, if you can. And like I said, once you start getting rid of all the funky ass programming, I promise you all these memories that you have forgotten will come back, because that's what's happened in me. This is the happiest I've ever been in my life, guys. This is the most peace I've ever felt in my entire existence on this planet. All right. So what were your favorite movies when you were like 5, 6, 7 years old? What was your favorite music back then? What was your favorite food as a child? Dance to your favorite song like you did when you were a kid. Hug yourself. Stare in the mirror and tell yourself, I am sorry. I am not loving you the way you deserve. But today I start. And I will start to experience a more abundant, loving, healthy life. I love you. I mean, literally talk to your inner child within you, okay? Tell your inner child that you're so proud of them. And remind them, guys, of how badass they really are. Because they took all that from you, right? Realize your shadow is not a demon outside of you. Again, there are no scapegoats, guys. You are the main character, you're the director, you're the writer, you're the producer of your movie/life. You are the architect and the co-creator of your life, family. Once you realize you have the power to course correct any setback, the victim mindset from the past abuse, it will not affect you in a negative way. You will become more confident. You'll be kinder to yourself. And you will acknowledge where you may have missed the mark at times. And guess what? It's okay. You're not perfect. And yet you're still fucking amazing. That is magic, babies. So are you ready to take control of your life? It is time for us to take our power back. And our power is our emotions, our energy in motion. When they say your vibe is off, that is what they're talking about. You can feel the emotional energy. Emotions are energy, okay? Moving in a frequency. And when they say raise your vibration, that's what they mean. Raise your vibration. You can feel your body shift when your emotions are right. You feel the warmth in your heart. You feel the tingleness running up and down your arm. You feel it. That's your vibration. That is you. That is the energy being inside you. So how are you going to serve it? How are you going to take care of yourself? What are you going to do to make your life the best fucking life possible? I love you and thank you for listening. I appreciate you so much. And remember, we are magic and we are one. Talk to you soon.